All right. Welcome back. We start here at Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 3. Why are we starting at verse 3? Because the people who chopped out these chapters and sections did not chop them properly because they didn't have any understanding. So they just did what they wanted to do. The close of the reprimanding of the children of Israel, which was in part 3, is verses 1 and 2. So this is a declaration, like the Declaration of Independence,
Yes, sir.
like any other governmental declaration. It is telling you the statutes, like understand that this is what's coming and this is how it's coming down the pipeline. And it bears witness against us. So there is a trial of the children of Israel going on right now.
Yes.
So you're being prosecuted by this law. And you are guilty, caught red-handed, not doing what this law says to do in the place it says to do it, with the people it says to do it with. Because you refuse to do it lawfully. Well, I don't see no signs and no wonders. All right.
The new Jerusalem ain't come down
From
for
heaven
judgment.
with golden streets.
For your
All
judgment.
right.
The judgment is
I
now.
know you believe. I know you believe that I'm a crackpot. Because you need signs and wonders to believe something. Well, you getting ready to get them, but you're not going to like it. This is just going to be a literal bloodbath of death, destruction, compounding issues, and for each one, you're going to try to explain it away. And before you figure it out with your dumb conspiracy theories, you're going to find at one point here in the near future where your own enemies come to you and say, listen, this is not the government. This has gotten out of control. This is your God. We have to go. It's time for us to get out of this country. We have to go. Because that's how dumb you are. You're going to be like, yeah, they, them, the man, they always, And I'm going to be sitting here building. And then you go through multiple stages of processes until some of you, most likely your children or your children's children, will make it in. They will come. That's how the system is worked. That's how it is written.
You done saw me say, oh, I know the Most High. I know him.
No, you don't. You don't know
him.
nothing. Only thing everybody is talking to out there is to demons of the night and figments of their imagination. That's it. There are some demons, but most people speak from out of the imagination of the heart. The demons won't even talk to you. Especially if you have the children of Israel. So you just imagining stuff and hoping and conjuring up whatever. So enjoy. So Deuteronomy chapter 6, here we go. Hearken then, Shema, hear and do. That's what that word is. Israel, to keep and do. It has to repeat itself twice.
Yes, it does.
So it says Shema,
Shema.
Israel.
Yes.
Right? But it also makes sure you understand to keep and do. This defines itself. That's the proof of the validity of any full document. It must render definitions to itself so that you have complete instructions to do it. Otherwise, you'll never figure out how it's properly supposed to be done. That it may be well with thee. So if you want it to be well with thee, and you may increase greatly as Yah, Allah of thy fathers has spoken to thee, that he will give thee a land whose fruit are rich as milk and sweet as honey.
Wow.
So we're talking about food. So if you want a land that produces food so plenteous that everybody eat, we all eating, you have to listen to these instructions.
And it says, are rich as milk and
Sweet as honey. So if you want a land flowing with milk and honey, you're going to have to come over here and plant it.
Right.
It's a country whose gross domestic product is food. Food. Maybe I put this in modern terms for some of you smarter people. Okay? Why is NATO falling apart? And why is BRICS on the rise? BRICS allows any country, large or small, to support its own money with its natural products. It's not fiat. It's not imaginary money where we just print it up and it has value because we put it on there. Right? It's $100 because I put $100 on a $100 bill. It's not that. No. It has something behind it to support it. Gold, silver, okay? Other precious metals, lithium, okay? Uranium, plutonium. You can put anything behind it that has value. Wheat, tomatoes,
rice, whatever.
Rice, grapes, chocolate, cocoa. It doesn't matter the food you put behind it or the thing you put behind it. So long as another country need it, you can put this behind your money. And when this country wants to do business with you, okay, or you want to do business with them, you can trade in goods and services and use the paper money as transport of economic services.
So you're pretty much receiving sustainment through natural resource and not through paper money.
Right. So the paper money has to have something behind it. The American dollar used to be backed by the gold in Fort Knox. Now, the gold in Fort Knox came from the people of America. They exchanged their gold for paper money, and the promise was that they could take the money, give it back, and give it gold. Now they kept the gold because all those people have died. They've canceled out all the bonds, and now they put oil behind it. Now the oil, they remove the oil behind it, and there's nothing. So now the only thing that has value of the money is the money. So now the only thing behind the money is just debt. I owe you, you owe me. Okay, I make you owe me more, now I owe you more. Now you owe me more, I owe you more, now I owe them. Now I owe them, they owe me, we owe, and there's nothing behind it.
So the same way now with them switching over to the digital, it's pretty much the same.
It's all imaginary money. It's all monopoly. So now with BRICS is saying, okay, you can buy oil from me and I'll take it in exchange of wheat for you, right? When I pay you, you accept my money, right? For your product. And when you need oil from me, you can actually pay me back in my money or in your money. You can buy from me using your money and I'll give you my product, and then I can buy back from you using your money or my money. So the money begin to have equal relative value. So this is the happiness that people have found in bricks because I'm trading wheat in tons for rice in tons, for oil in tons, for gas in tons. We need all of these things, and they're in different places, so we can buy and sell and conduct business together.
So that's going back to our law of just weights and measures.
Ta-da! But it's not just weights and measures yet.
Right.
This is just the idea. But now that you know how the system works, you can see how our law is the perfect version of it. But we must first implement it with ourselves, among ourselves, while they're fighting. Because this war, they're going to destroy everything. And the first thing that they're going to need after the war, after they finish and everything is destroyed, after the people have died from plagues, disease, and from the aftermath, right? After they made their secondary, third, and fourth moves to claim more land, to get more free resources, to have stuff to sell, and destroy that in the fight, in the war, once they get done, everybody wakes up hungry, and whoever has the food will win because you can exchange the food and delay payment.
You know what's funny? America with us, they exalted themselves above us because of money. Then it came to a place to provoke us into jealousy of what they had. Then they made it available for you to get the money, knowing that the money eventually was going to become of nothing. So it had you chasing nothing.
So that's how it works. So now you see, milk and honey is not just milk and honey. It's food, okay? Fruits, herbs, as well as cattle, milk, and bees for the pollination of the plants, honey. So it's an entire system, okay? Producing,
Yes.
right? So it says, if you want the promise that the Most High spoke to you, you're going to have to accept the reprimanding that you're wrong, change your ways, come in, join us, accept the ordering, accept the instruction to rebuild from the ground up. Farms, right? See, it says fruits. So we're talking, come in, we have community, we have farms, we have stores, we have shops, we have markets, and we conduct business among ourselves and with those surrounding us.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Abraham did.
So that's what it says to do. Anybody have a problem with it? Stay where you are. Work at McDonald's. It'll be there forever, right? Right? The American government will never fall. Right? Right?
Now everything else will be destroyed around you while you right there.
America will be inhabited forever. Right? Right?
Oh my goodness.
Right? You're the indigenous people of America, so no matter what happens, you will always remain upon it, right? Right? Whatever your decisions and your proclamations are, be sure that you are sure that that is the outcome. Because if it's not, you will be faced with going through somebody else's plan for you since you didn't have a plan. See, I got a plan. My plan is, you think 40 years is something, this plan is at least a good 600-700 years deep.
Yeah.
And we still just at the beginning, but it's 700 years deep. I'm getting it now, and I still got at least another 7, 8, 900 years to get everything completed.
Mm.
Do you plan on living that long? Yep, every day is it. Sure enough. I want to see this all the way through.
Oh, yes.
I want to see this through for 1,000.
Oh, yes.
You said what? With you in charge? No. Heck no.
Right.
I'm going to get off this throne. I promise you I'm going to get off this throne. I'll put my son on it, but I'm getting off. Ain't nobody can sit here and bear your foolishness forever. Everybody who wants the throne is a fool. I don't want it. Moses didn't want it. You're appointed to it because you're the one selected. You're the best candidate that the Most High has appointed. But to sit down and bear the weight of you foolish people, oh my goodness. No, I put my son on it. I'm getting off this.
Let him carry.
I will become an advisor at a certain point. It'll take a long time to get there, but I'll get there. Most High have to call me personally. No, you guys don't remember that decision, Leviticus chapter 1, because if you didn't listen to that when we went into it, Moses said, all right, the temple is built. I'm not coming up here unless the Most High call me. I understand, because he only called you for a problem. He's giving you the solution to it. It's not like you have to figure it out, but you the one have to deal with it. Watch. I'll be counseling. Most High will call me from time to time. But we're going to get you guys cleaned up, functioning, and out of sin first, and get all of that working. And then we're going to do what the Most High says do. And then somebody else going to sit up here and do this other stuff. And I'll go into a counselor role. And I'm going to enjoy the fat of the land. Yes, I'm going to enjoy. But I'm going to do the work first and then enjoy. You can enjoy now. Enjoy everything now. You'll be dead. And everybody, when they come face to face with death, nobody want to die, but you'll be dead because you enjoyed now. You didn't obey. It's okay. Because I was only talking to the ones the Most High wanted to hear this, and they was going to obey anyway. Not you, rebel. Verse number 4. It was when the time came that our father Jacob, I'm not talking to you, rebel. I'm talking to the obedient ones, our father Jacob, the blood sons, our father, the obedient ones who serve the law and walk in the customs and traditions like it's written right here. Not you rebels out there in foreign countries paying those foreign governments to destroy you. Fool. When our father Jacob should be gathered out of the world, he was anxious lest there might be an idolater among his sons.
Ooh.
He called them and questioned them. Is there such perversity in your hearts? They answered, all of them together, and said to him, hear, Israel, our father. Yah, our Allah, is one Allah. Shema Israel. Right? This is our father. Okay? Abu, our father. Right? Our father. I was that what? Abi? Yeah. That would be Abi. So Shema Israel. Abi. Yah, Allah, He, our God, Wahad, Echad, is one Allah.
So when those imposters were saying this, they kept out the part our father because they knew he wasn't their father.
Right. So the imposters take the our Israel, our father out. So when you're
Right.
talking about Jacob, who was called Israel, Jacob is our father. So it's a bloodline thing.
Right.
It excludes them.
But they're trying to include
themselves and exclude you.
And here we go repeating that.
Their version of
Their
the Shema.
version of it.
So hear Israel, our father. The Lord our God is one. Or you could say, Shema Israel Abi. La ilaha illallah. There is no God but
You.
Allah.
Yes.
Jacob made response and said, Blessed be his glorious name forever and ever. So now you know this is the conversation. You know who's talking and what the conversation context is, who is responding. Moses the prophet said to the people of the house of Israel, follow after the true worship lifestyle, the true lifestyle of your fathers, that you may love Yah, your Allah, the Lord your God, with each disposition of your heart, and also that he may accept the dedicated service of all your wealth. So now, he's saying for you to make your hearts uncomfortable by obeying and following in this law, custom, and tradition, knowing that it is foreign to you at this time.
Right.
And to follow the dedicated service of your wealth, meaning put your money into this, into building this, into serving this law, these customs, these statutes, these traditions in this land with us.
Because it makes him, because he accepts our souls for this.
Well, this is the acceptance of souls. First of all, the soul is in the blood. The blood is in the body. So, for you to be accepted, meaning to return back to the congregation and live under this, that you may live in your bodies and not die, you have to get uncomfortable, right? And give here to the building of the congregation, the community, the organizing of the kingdom.
Wow.
And live here. So you're going to go from dressing like a harlot, like Cardi B, like Rihanna, to putting back on the traditional garments. It is not comfortable. You're used to doing what you want. You're going to be uncomfortable not saying what you want at any given moment, but controlling your mouth. You're going to be uncomfortable having to give your money for the building of the nation and participate in the building at the same time.
Right.
You're going to be uncomfortable because, as it is for the nation, it doesn't profit you at this moment.
Right.
It is for a future generation. So now this is a disposition. This doesn't feel good to your heart. You ask questions. Is this a scam? No, you got scammed when you pay $100 for some $5 sneakers. It's $5, $20 in materials. It's even less if you own the cow. Everything that you put on grows from the earth. It is free to multiply it. So to make it is cheap. The process is not that expensive. They put it together and charge you luxury prices for common things. You have to be crazy because you participate in this. So the dedicated service of all your wealth. So you have to dedicate your wealth to the service of building the nation. You have to give it. This is uncomfortable.
Right.
But wherever a man's wealth is, there his heart is. So if you don't give to this, I'm saying give. Listen, I said give and move here. We're buying land for you to live here and participate in the community and prosper. And you're saying, I don't know, that sounds like a scam. Are you dumb?
Because they want to prosper doing nothing.
No. I have to ask another question. Are you dumb? Because when they came to America, they chipped in to sail all the way over there to buy the land from the Indians. And with those contracts, as crooked as they was, as misleading as they was, it gave them the right to take over the land. This is the law. You're able to govern your land that you pay for as is. You're able to govern it under your law, your customs, and your traditions. So now you with the savages, being raised as a savage, and you think I'm crazy. You have to be out your ever-loving mind. You buy land and pay taxes on it to the government. This is a service. This is who you worship. I'm saying buy land, and the profit from the land will be reinvested into getting more land to expand for your sons, for your daughters, for your neighbors, and for all the others of the sons of Israel who don't worship idols. So if you don't give, I know who you worship. Idolater. You.
And then they're doing the very same thing as those who came into that country. They're doing it there. Our people has become like them, and then we go to another country and we try to implement that same system where you're at. You're no better, no different.
Right. Now, because some people think I'm crazy. Right? So you think I'm making this up, that I'm doctoring the words. Okay. Let's check. Read that verse number 5 again. Make sure your book say the same.
What Moshe the prophet said?
Yes. And speak up so the microphone can hear you.
Moshe the prophet said to the people of the house of Israel, follow after the true worship of your fathers, that you may love Yah your Allah with each disposition of your hearts, and also that he may accept your souls and the dedicated service of all your wealth.
Okay. Now, read the next line.
And let these words which I command you this day be written upon the tables of your hearts.
Okay, so today is the day that the Most High has come to now remove the stony heart and to write this law upon those who obtain the heart of flesh. Today, 100th episode. Today. Why? Because you heard the law a bunch of times. So, okay, we back. Battery died and, we took a little break. So, we just finished reading Number 6. But it says, and let these words, which words? These words I've been talking for these last 100 episodes. These words,
Yes.
which I command you to do today. Right? As the king that Moses commanded when he was king, that anybody who teaches this law is trying to teach you today from these teachings. And this just to the sons of Jacob, because chapter 6 is dedicated exclusively to the sons of Jacob. Let these words be written on your heart today. So today, after you give your money and you get your passports and your visas to come out here and to live and to work on these farms that we will buy once we receive the funding, right? It's immediate. You give, we receive the funds, and it go out and buy the land. Because the funds don't come to me. They go to the high priest. You're not giving it to me. Even I receive it, I have to give it to the high priest. See, they don't listen.
No, they don't.
So all of this is going to the high priest. The high priest, because this is the donation for the whole house to benefit from. So since you all have to come, you all have to give. Right? Then we start scheduling who's coming out when according to what's prepared or as necessary. But we're not going to destroy the farm because we have to eat the food.
Right.
We're dependent upon ourselves. So it says, today is the day it gets written on your heart. And that's if you give and prepare to come out and to build the kingdom with us. This is a whole lifestyle change. This is the lifestyle, the true lifestyle of Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Rebekah and Jacob, Zilha, Bilhah, and Leah. See? It's all right here. Right? That's what it says. Now read this next line.
And thou shalt unfold them to thy children.
Wait a minute. So you see, I brought my wife here, and I got my sister here, and I'm making sure that they understand the fullness of this law. Why? Because they're the first teachers to the children. The women are the first teachers to the sons and to the daughters. If they aren't living the culture in the land, then they lying. Right? So when they say, this is the land given to us by our fathers, they have to be in it.
Right.
They can't, it's over there. We're 5,000 miles away. But when we going? I don't know. We waiting. You waiting on what? You waiting on the mystical sky Negro. You will never promise the mystical sky Negro, never. Never. And it says that these words which I command you to be written on your heart this day. How do you get it written up there? You give. And then, what's the next line?
And thou shalt unfold them to thy children.
So I unfold it to the nation, because to the king, the nation is children.
Yes, I'm one of y'all's children.
All right. And then you unfold it to your children after you.
Yep.
All right. So to unfold means to reveal. Okay, how do you get the revelation? It says to what?
And meditate upon them when you are sitting in your houses.
So when you're sitting in your house, you're supposed to be listening to these videos repeatedly and gaining the understandings and reading along. If you can't read, just listen. We'll get around to it, even if I skip something or miss something for one reason. I will have another reason to get back to it and to do it at another appointed time because it is read circularly. Every year we go through the same things over and over and over again. So you're supposed to do that, and I'm supposed to provide that for you. Free. Like on YouTube.
Yes.
And the podcast I pay to have distributed to you. There's no profit in it for me. It's what must be done. And I do it freely. When else are we supposed to do it?
At the time when you are occupied in secret chambers.
So when you're busy alone, you know, maybe you working in the garage or in the house, or you're doing something, you're by yourself, you got your headphones, your earbuds, your AirPods, whatever you use, but you put this on and you're doing what you need to do while you're working, occupied, and you're alone in a secret chamber, right? Secret chamber is you by yourself.
Or in journeying by the way.
So anytime you're traveling, you're supposed to have this law, which I'm reading to you and unfolding to you in your ear while you are working.
At evening, when you lie down.
So when you're in your house by yourself, this is another opportune time for you to be listening to these laws and unfolding them when you're going to bed. If that's a good time for you, it's available at that time. And when else?
And at morn when you arrive.
And in the morning when you get up. So if you didn't get it when you laid down, you know, in the morning you get up, you put on your headphones, you brush your teeth, you go in and you're driving to work. You have the time to do this, and it's open and available for you 24 hours a day, every day, and you don't have to miss it. You can work on it and unfold it to yourself by simply listening to it. So while I do say get the book, and I'm showing you where I'm reading from, I'm actually just explaining it to you straight through with details, placing everything at its appointed time.
Yes.
Unfolding the law to you. Then when we go through the second time, right, we have to go back to Genesis and then begin to judge and act the first ones like it was commanded to do to make the judgments so that we can understand how judgment fall. You'll see how this law is applied. So I'm doing my job as the teacher of the entirety of the house of Israel to break down the truth.
Right.
But it starts with giving. It starts with what? It starts with giving.
And, you know, as we're reading this, you're not adding to, you're not taking away, you're not having no deep revelation, there's no interpretation. Everything that is being spoken is what is written.
Right.
So no figuring out.
No figuring out. So we're buying land as a people to build farms and to live on it and to organize ourselves under our own law. Okay? The more we build, the more we buy, the more we possess, the more we control for ourselves, governed by ourselves. We have our own courts. We have our own security, our own police. We have our own everything. I say, give your money to do this, and you say, I'm the scam.
Please don't get me started, because I think back in the church how we used to run to the altar, giving our tithes and giving our money to build the kingdom, and we was just building the pastor's pockets, and then here we got an opportunity to build a kingdom, and we won't do it because it's a scam.
No, I'm saying this because It's for real. This is the scam, right? So I say give money to the kingdom to buy the land for you to come live on it and farm it. And then we'll take from what you farm and give to the priests the 10% of the tithes from the fruit of the land, right? Real vegetables. That's what we want. I want vegetables. This is aside from what goes to the market. I say, let's join together, get all the land we can, and build out and build our own kingdom and get ourselves together first. And then once we have the fullness of the land, we'll divide it by lots. Right? That's what I say,
Right.
which is in line with the law. And you say he's a scam. It don't work like that. It don't work like that because your heart is made of stone. Now we know who's the rebel.
But you know what's interesting is that in verse 5, you dedicate the service of the wealth first. Then verse 7 is when you do the unfolding to the children and so on and to meditate on yourself. But everybody want to skip the dedicated service of the wealth.
Absolutely. They skip right over it. They don't want to hear that part.
No, they don't.
But that shows whether you have the soft heart of flesh or the stony heart, is where you apply your money. This is unfamiliar to you. This is uncomfortable, right? You won't see me driving around in a Bentley. I will not display any type of luxuriating wealth, like a worthless car. I will take that and I will buy swaths, hundreds of acres of farmland, thousands of acres of land, and put you on it, and you will live, and you will farm, and you will bring your tithe to the priest from what you farm and grow. The rest will be for the sustainment of the people, one part, and the other part to the market for profiting. And then what is profited from as the nation goes back into buying more land for the nation and to gathering back our brothers and sisters and grooming them in the laws, in the tradition, in the customs, in policing them. But I'm the scam. I do it lawfully, and you say the law is the scam. You want to do it your way and say that your way is right. Are your ways really correct? This is the question.
Yes, yes.
Well, we're going to let the Most High judge between what I'm saying and what you're doing.
Yeah, because everybody claim they're keeping the
Right.
law.
No,
They're
that's right.
following the
That's
law.
right. That's right. You guys have seen all the UFO sightings, and nobody has gotten picked up yet.
They be getting shot down.
So we're considering these things, right? Your lands are being poisoned, not where I'm at. I'm in the place where the Most High said to be, to begin the building the Most High said to build, and you say, I am wrong. Well, we're going to let the Most High judge that. Are you really who you say you are, and are you really doing what you say the Most High says to do? The judgment is out.
Yeah, because we're supposed to keep and do.
Right. Now, just to show you, because I mentioned this before, about this next instruction. What does it say to do in the next instruction?
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And you shall bind them as written signs upon thy left hand, and they shall be for tefillin upon thy forehead over thine eyes.
Hold my tablet. I'm supposed to bind it
Written signs upon thy left
written,
hand.
written on my left hand. Now, what is supposed to be written is dictated in an earlier chapter of the Exodus. It's written upon your coming out, right?
Yes.
You have to leave
In order to
bear it. So it's written upon your left hand. So if you're coming out, you're dedicated to coming out, right? So you've given to the coming out. You've gotten your things together for the coming out. Then you wear it coming out when you arrive. Not at the airport for them to be asking a bunch of questions. So it's written. You wear it on your coming out, on your left hand, right? And then there's some that will be put here as a patch, written, writing. Not a symbol,
not a block.
not a block, not a black strap. It is legible. You can read it. I like it in paleo. So I write it in paleo or paleo. I write it this way. And my kids actually ask me about it. Daddy, what's that? This is a Teflon. What's it say? And I read it to them. And I explain to them. Daddy, I want one. I want to wear it. Not. Ooh, it's not this.
The Wailing Wall.
Okay, moving on. And then you should write, then what's next? What else?
Upon thy forehead, over thine eyes.
So it's upon your forehead, above your eyes. So it's a patch, a headband. Right? On your keeper. Even if you want to wear the shake thing, you can put a patch here. Or upon the rope. It's a rope that we put on, the agla, the crown. Okay? Or on your turban, if you want to wear a turban. You can put it on anything. On the mitri. You can put it on the mitri, and it's a patch you put here. Okay? And what else?
And thou shalt write them upon the pillars and affix them in 3 places.
Okay, so you're supposed to write them upon your pillars. You know what the problem is? You don't got no land.
For the pillars.
You didn't build no buildings to have any pillars. You want to know why you don't got it? Because you didn't do verse number 5, the dedicated service of all your wealth and given to buy the land, to build the buildings for the redemption of the nation. Because if you bought the land and we built the buildings all come with pillars here.
Sure does.
It's all stone. What else are we supposed to do?
And affix them in 3 places against the cupboard.
So you're going to put it against your cabinets in the kitchen. That's the cupboards. Where else?
Upon the posts of thy house.
On the post of your house. But you don't have a house on your land in your country yet because you didn't give for the building of the nation yet. What else?
And on the right hand of thy gate.
On the right hand of the gate.
In thy going out.
And you're going out. So you don't have that neither in your land. You can't do this in captivity. This is all contingent upon you giving from the dedicated service of your wealth to the buying of the land, to the coming out and having the farm and the fruit and the houses already done so that you can come and move into them, so that you can put this on those places that are yours. Because once they are paid for, you don't have a expense. You buy stuff like fresh provisions, right? Fresh killed meat, fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh fish, fresh food items, and water. These things you may pay for because we're dwelling with our brethren. Fresh provisions and water. Now, we can buy all the animals alive so they can make babies. You don't got to buy them dead and cut up. We don't got to go to the butcher shop. That's the wisdom, because you have land. So once you have these things and you're governed under yourself under this law, then these are the markers to designate your borders of your communities. So people know when you come here, these are the sons of Israel. They are doing things in the traditional Abrahamic way. My tefillin can be written in Arabic if I so choose. Why? So my neighbors can read and know, oh, Bani Israel. Oh, these are the good people here. How they don't know you because you don't do what Bani Israel do. You don't give to the Bani Israel king. You put it in the hands of your other governments where you live and give to these other people who don't do nothing but flash their wealth in your face.
Yep.
And you smile and clap and cheer them on because they get wealthier and wealthier. And you hope one day they do something for you or speak on your behalf. We the Israelites, yes, Nick Cannon is woke. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Brendan T. Jackson is woke. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? These people are not doing anything beneficial to you because they have to try to hold on to their wealth and their status and whatever else that you gave them in the wicked system. So your king has to tell you to come back to your land and be on the land and have the right and the ability to buy the land for you to come and get out in the middle of the confusion. Smile and wave, boys, like the penguins in Madagascar. Smile and wave. Hi, yeah, we come here to be tourists. But you know, once you get through the gate, that your paperwork, the place where you're staying, all the requirements for you to come in and get established are already in place. But you don't want to cause a stir or confusion on the coming out to make it seem like, this is a conflict situation, because you're not organized to fight. Everybody who's in this war, hold on, let me explain this too.
Yes, sir.
Everybody in this war is already an established nation. They all coming down. After this war, everybody gonna have sticks and stones. Everybody gonna go back to swords and spears and bows and arrows. I promise. Okay? So after this war, you have to be thinking about how are you gonna build back up? Okay? So now we have a law telling us how to build back up and get a head start, because everybody fighting in this war already got what they want to fight with and what they fighting for. Black people, you don't have no nation. You don't have no tanks. You don't have no bombs. You don't have nothing to really organize and fight with this war. So the only thing you could do is pick a side.
Wow.
And there's two sides to this. Two. Their side and your side. And your side is to move out the way and mind your business. Mind your damn business. Come buy this land. Now, this is only for you whose heart has been circumcised and the stony heart removed, and you received the heart of flesh, and you're hearing the law. Give to the building, move out here, and we're going to start from scratch. If you are old, bring somebody young. What? Yes, you old. You know you can't do this work. But you find some young person that wants to go, that wants a fresh start in life, and you just pay for their trip. The donation counts for both of you. See that?
Yeah.
The donation count for you and whoever with you. It doesn't matter. It's just that we have to have the resource of the land before you get here. So let them fight. Mind your business. Come through the tourist gate like a tourist, smile, wave, get whatever you need. Come in, we'll be quiet and on our own. We just conducting regular business. We're not even involved.
Right.
You'll be invisible because you'll be following the laws of the covenant. So you'll appear like a meek and humble people. Meanwhile, after all of your enemies have all fought, then after they've destroyed themselves, then we march around and collect the spoils. It'll be free. They're all dead. Oh, there's a dead body here. Hey, don't touch the body. Oh, there's gold. Take this. This good. Take the pots, the pans, the knives. We burn them in the fire, clean them up. Oh, but you don't hear me though. You think you're going to get kidnapped. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so we back. Okay? I want to thank you. Did you see all of that in there? Was it clear? Am I making it up?
No.
It's there, right?
Yes.
It's the same understanding?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, so this law is so clear, anybody who read it can clearly see that it's telling us to do this.
Yes.
And you needed a leader, right, to do it. Right? So I'm here. I've got ambassadors from the region around in the area. I got engineers from Wazoo to build for you. I did my part. You don't want to give because you don't want to buy bricks. You don't want to buy the land. You don't want to pay the workers.
No.
You know how much it costs for one construction worker to build for 1 month here? It's only $700 a month. It's very cheap. So I'm buying a lot and building a lot. I'm anticipating thousands. However, you are waiting for the mystical sky Negro and then for the Most High to rape your heart and bust it open and cave your chest in to break the heart of stone, then come down and you see the finger of God with a laser beam writing the law on the tables of your heart. Now he said you do it by listening to what I'm teaching you today. I'm the only one teaching it, I know. Because I've looked. Not one. Nowhere. Nobody's completed the process. Save me in the land. And I am successful. Took me 8 years. This is the first year of Exodus for you. Welcome. And we're getting all of this done, right?
Yes. Yes.
Before the Day of Atonement. So we can be ready to come and set up for the first half of the Shavuot. Then going into the Passover, the Hajj, the journey for your journeying in out. This is going to be beautiful for us. For you out there, it's not looking good, Playboy.
You know, somebody may be watching like, Shavuot is after Passover. So what are you talking about, Shavuos after that?
Passover is in the fall, and the Day of Atonement is the first month of the spring. So you begin the year atoning because you're in cycle with the earth. It's the Day of Atonement. Shavuot comes after the Passover. It's in the fall. The month of Nisan is in the fall. It's the harvest season, which is why you count the omers. You're counting everything that you harvest for farming all year.
Goes back to the land. Goes back to the land.
But if you don't live in the culture, you never figure it out. But it's okay. That's what's coming. Okay? So, and that's how it's set up. So we're getting ready to go into atonement. So let's see who atones for themselves. Because those who give, right? It's the same thing when you were doing the accounting of the people. They have to give half a shekel of silver for each man, right? Then they also have to give for the building of the sanctuary and for the tabernacle of ordinance, the house of instruction. You have to give to build it. Well, let's see whose heart breaks and they allow this law to be written upon it and they make atonement for their soul to be accounted among those who make it. That's what I'm looking for. This is the whole redemption process. If you don't want to believe it, don't. I'm not buying airplanes. Heck, I'm buying donkeys. I'm buying camels.
Yes.
A horse or two.
A horse or two.
Yeah.
Cows the galore. Sheep, rams, goats.
Yes.
I'm going to have all of that. Land.
Yes. And chickens for eggs.
I'm getting pheasants. Y'all gonna get pheasants out here. Pheasants and quail. That's what you're getting. And pigeons. Right? Yeah, we gonna eat pigeons. You gonna be mad? Don't come out here. You don't want none of this. It's lawful out here. It's how tight you gonna get these pigeons.
Or turtle doves.
Or them doves.
Yeah. So we get the quails. I'll be the next egg dealer.
Hey,
I got 3 eggs for $1.
Oh, I plan on producing. Yes.
So now I've unfolded that the preamble, what predicates you proving who you are, your bloodline, and how you are redeemed. That's what this beginning is. So now let's see what the Most High has to say in verse 10.
You want me to read or you read?
You read it, because
Yeah. You see it.
and when Yah thy Allah,
Speak up.
and when Yah thy Allah hath brought thee into the land.
Wait.
Yeah.
So he says to do this, right? And then he says, after you've done these things, after the giving, right? The dedicated service of all your wealth, and after the listening to the teachings, which I'm teaching you and I provide for you for free,
Disposition of the heart.
which is going to be uncomfortable because you might be thinking this is a scam. But even if you think it's a scam, give anyway.
Yes.
The link is in the description box below.
Yes.
And then prepare yourself to come out. The Most High says, for those who follow this instruction, when the Most High brings you into the land,
Which he promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, thy fathers, to give thee cities great and goodly, which thou didst not toil in building.
whoa! Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on. He said, I'll give you cities great and goodly, which you didn't work in building. Didn't say you didn't pay for it.
Oh, goodness. Gotta write that down.
So now I'm telling you, I told you already I have the engineers, I have the ambassadors, everything, because after you invest X amount of money, everyone registered with us will receive residency. So we're buying back cities, right? So even though I put one amount in the donations to be received, it doesn't limit how much can be received. And all that is received, I can buy land in abundance and rebuild whole cities. So now you can have cities that you didn't build. It takes 3 months to build one palace out of brick and stone and fill it with goodly things. But if you don't give, then your heart remains stony, no farms, no food, no redemption for you. But to those who give, there'll be redemption for. You will be able to come. You will escape the destruction you see unfolding before your eyes. Because we'll just hire these people here
To do the building.
to build it. They know how. They've been doing it. So you pay for it, you build it, it is built and set up for you when you come.
Don't you know they're looking for the Most High to build it and let it come down and we
I said that to some other fool before. I said that. You want a golden city to fall out the sky in your lap. Who's hooking up
the plumbing.
the plumbing? Who's attaching the water? Because if you have these buildings, right, mansions, how does the water get from the ground up into the building? Who's attaching the water pumps? Who's attaching the electricity? If it have electricity. If the streets are paved with gold, here's my question. Okay? Where's the food coming from in a golden city? Because gold don't grow food. We're going to get immortal bodies.
I was just
When?
about to say that. Oh, wait, they said those spiritual bodies.
When?
Yes.
When?
Yeah.
By what means?
Yeah. And we're gonna live in heaven, but
No.
in heaven,
Everybody in heaven is dead. Every person in heaven had to transform and die to remain up there. Oh, but Enoch, he was translated, which means he transitioned and died to go up there. His body had to go through something. He had to be changed. Just because death didn't touch him that he's buried here does not mean
he didn't die.
He don't have to change. You can't be like this and go.
Right.
He just didn't take a nap. He just went straight. He went smooth. I don't know. I'm just telling you, this don't make it. And this is for here. So since you have blood in your body, right, and the soul is in the blood and in the body, if you care about this body and your soul, why don't you obey these instructions today?
Yes.
You know, we gotta do like the old school telethon. Today, give. Today. So now he promised that if you give, you won't have to toil in the cities. Why? There's a law. I'm telling you, it only comes when the king is sitting before you and telling you this is how it's done. And he says, what else about this? Here, you read it, because she read that first part. You read the other part. Let me see what you say.
Houses also filled with all good.
So, again, houses filled with all good. Now, listen, my house is fabulous. I live in a beautiful palace.
Yeah.
I didn't build it.
Nope.
Okay? But I'm telling you, it come furnished. And the same way it's furnished, mine's furnished. I have a nice sofa set, beautiful bedroom set, lovely, solid oak wood armoires. Oh, it's fantastic. Furnished with all good. Internet, same thing. You have it too. Everything I get, you'll get.
Yes.
Oh, but I want to be able to pick. You can pick and pay from your monthly stipend from what you like, but when you get here, it has to be nice when you get here. You can't move into a place that's empty and then try to buy furniture, because where are you going to sleep? On the floor? It says to have it and fill it with all good.
Which thou wast not occupied in filling.
See, it told you has to be filled for you.
You don't supposed to feel it. That's the law.
Right? Now, if you wait for the Most High to kill everybody and you come in, well, that's not filled with good.
No.
It's filled with death. It's unclean. And what else?
And hewn cisterns.
So you're supposed to receive a place with cisterns. Now we have cisterns here. Now you don't know. Like, we don't have plumbing and water being pumped to the building.
Right.
Okay? We pay for water in large water trucks to be delivered. And it fills the cistern.
Right.
From the cistern, it is pumped to the building, so everybody receives fresh water. So this Most High is telling you, you're going to get cisterns. I'm telling you, you're going to get a cistern. Everything is in line with the instruction.
In hewing which thou didst not labor.
So you're not going to dig up the cistern. It had to already be here, which is why I'm buying it that way. And what else is it supposed to have?
Vineyards.
So we're buying the farms that's already has planted trees
And vine.
And olives.
with vineyards and olives. It got grapes, it's got pomegranates and olives. I'm the scam. When did it say build the Potter's House to $1 billion organization that you can't live on and no food grows there? It's not a city for you. The Most High said, give here, do it this way, send your money here so I can build for you so that you could just hop off the plane and enjoy the community bus, which we own, to bring you to your place, and then you start the learning process and adapt. You got 2 or 3 days of work or 2 or 3 days of school. So you're learning and working at your farm and learning. And you can listen, because even if, say, you don't want to attend classes like that, you're not that type of student, the classes is recorded. So you can listen to it while you're working. And you can work 6 days and still receive the understanding and the lessons when you lay down, when you rise up, when you journeying in the way, when you occupied in secret chambers, so you can continue learning while you're here and be productive and prosperous. You're not worried about rent. It's paid for. And all the work is for the further expansion of the community.
But no, instead they prefer to support a man who has a church building. They got land next to it, who's deciding to grow marijuana in order to bring more members to fill his pockets. And in that same area, they're losing housing. Isn't that interesting? That's who they rather give to.
Well, give away. I don't care. Okay? And it says vineyards and olives
With planting.
with planting. That means they're already planted.
Yes.
So we're buying functioning farms. They're already established.
Yes.
Right?
Which thou was not wearied.
Which you weren't tired in planting for yourself. That's what I keep telling you. I can get a 3.5 acre functioning olive farm for $20,000 and $30,000 and put 2 or 3 families on it to work it. But in working the farm, you're not working in planting it.
No.
You're just harvesting it and pressing the oil when it get ripe. What are you doing in the meantime, between time? Oh, I know. Maybe you may be a contributor to the supermarket. Or maybe you're studying the law and learning the cultures, the customs, and the traditions so that you may walk in it.
And when thou hast eaten and art satisfied.
So the promise is you will eat and be satisfied. So I told you, you don't have no bills. We got plenty of food because we got the farms. And I mean, I'm buying all of them. I don't want just 1, 2. No, I want thousands. I want to create towns and cities and regions. I'm buying farms. This is going to be a major undertaking, which is why this is going out to you to make a choice today. Right? So now after you have eaten and are satisfied, wow, you'll be satisfied. The building is nice.
Yeah.
You got plenty more than enough space. You're learning the Lord. You got plenty food. You're not worried about nothing. Everything is provided for. So now everything is provided for. What will happen?
Beware lest you forget the fear of Yah your Allah.
So beware that when you come in, that you don't forget, right?
Yes.
Because what happens? You get comfortable and you start relaxing back on your American way of thinking or your foreign way of thinking. Don't matter what country you come from. Beware unless you relax back on that and you don't keep the laws, the customs, and the traditions, that you don't continue in the traditional way. Right? That's the fear. How you conduct yourself in the customs and the traditions. This is the fear of the Most High. Keeping the laws, the enforcement, anything. Because where we start is not where we're finishing. There's a constant progression. So when you see and hear new changes coming down the pipe, and we have to change things, we have to move, we have to make different arrangements because we're progressing to follow the instructions of the Most High to get the fullness of the land back and to have the fullness of the kingdom to divide the land by lots. Don't get comfortable because you lived on this farm for 4 years. Right?
Yes, sir.
So after you eaten and are satisfied, beware lest you forget the fear of Yah
Your Allah, who delivered and led you out free from the land of Mitzrayim.
So he led you out free from the land of Mitzrayim, the land of the west. And what else?
From the house of the affliction of slaves.
From the house of the affliction of slaves. The people who took slaves and never brought them back, never gave them restitution, only afflicted them. We'll be back after this because, there's more. I mean, yeah, I'll be back. Okay. So, during the break, we had a little discussion. Now, I want to bring up a discussion that my wife pointed out. Because in her mind, she was like, when you mention the Golden City, she sees Marvel. The Marvel movie when they had the city of Sokovia, or it was Age of Ultron, right?
Yes.
So what happened? Like, what happened in that specific movie?
I just remember the whole city, they ended up lifting it in the air for whatever reason, because if it had, I guess, fallen back on the earth, everybody would have died. So what they ended up doing was like destroying the city in the air, but the remains of it still fell down on the ground. And I'm just looking at it like, so a lot of people still died. So how's that supposed to work with this kingdom? Like, how far back do you have to be before this kingdom comes completely down and you don't get crushed and die from it?
See? Common sense. Basic thinking. If a city falls out of the sky, where should we be to be safe from it landing? If it lands in the water, you get a tsunami.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
If it lands on the land, there's a massive land and destruction coming to all the nations from the wave of it landing. So the laws of physics that still are applied to the earth still function. They don't cancel out.
You know, unfortunately, a lot of people believe that redemption is in death.
I don't see death on here.
I don't either.
No, wait, hold on. I've read this, the whole thing. It's about living in this body, in this soul, right? This in the blood that's in this body, this soul living.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna live. You do what you want.
Yeah.
I got heaven right here with olive trees.
Yeah.
And the house of the affliction of slaves. America, Britain, Europe, NATO, the whole thing. They took slaves and they continued to afflict them in Africa and everywhere else. So now this is the time for you to come out. You have the opportunity, but we just have to buy back our cities. Now, I want to point that out. So you're seeing this law now, and Moses is explaining to you now in chapter 6 the same understanding that was given to them at Horeb.
Right.
So they were supposed to, when they came up with the spies to spy the land, and they came back with the good report and the branches, they were supposed to go in and buy the land. But they said, no, there's giants, this. I don't want to. There's these people, there's this people, there's this, that, blah, 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 blah. They gave that wicked, crooked report. So the Most High says, fine, if you don't want to go in now, you can wander in the wilderness for 40 years. And Joshua and Caleb fought and argued with Moses and Aaron, and then a bunch of people died. Because then they said, well, we're supposed to take it by war. And all the people who went to war died. They died over 40 years in the war that they was looking for. So now, here we are again, right?
Here we are again. That's why we've been reincarnated, because we're repeating history.
The same cycle. So here we go again, right? Now the nations are going to war. Now, if you want war, go ahead, have at it. Deuces. Okay? But for those of you who will believe my report, my righteous report, you will give, we will buy, and we will have the promises as it says here. Don't give, don't buy, don't come. Die in the war. The dedicated service of all your wealth. Right? So there's a risk involved. What's the risk, Rabbi Sheikh? Well, I'm going to have to get fully invested in this, and I have to make sure that, we're going to transfer my whole life into this. And so that we're not coming back. This is a one-way street. We the people, we're going to do it. I'm fully invested. What? All my wealth. I'm going to put everything into this one basket. Right? Now, we're not going to take everything,
Right.
right? I know you're not going to give everything all at once, but what happens is the dedicated services, when it's called upon, you give. So there's a giving and a restoration and a growing and a giving and a growing and a giving and a growing. So that this way the pot is never empty, either in your pocket or in the nation's.
So is that pretty much seed time and harvest?
Seed time and harvest over and over again. So you can see it. So they were supposed to come in the first time, in the first year, and buy the land. And here we are at the time of buying land. Why? It's the springtime. It's time to start and prepare to sow. So it's the time for atonement, going out into the field, sowing the land. We are here now. We have made it.
Yeah.
So now is your time of atonement, and we can go and take the goodly land that is for sale, the functioning farms. Don't believe it? Don't. Stay there. So now you can see what I'm talking about. This is, I keep explaining it. If they don't listen, they don't listen. It's all right. Okay? So it says, don't forget, and how we came out, which is why we wear the tefillin. He says, but fear. In doing this,
Fear.
this is the fear. Fear Yah, your Allah, and worship before Him. Now, this is not talking about a whole lot of singing and dancing.
No.
There is singing and dancing, but that's not the worship. The worship is keeping the lifestyle, the customs, the traditions, and whenever required, by decree, by command of the law, in the order of the governing Malkuta, which we set up, do what is asked. That's the worship. It's the lifestyle, the culture, customs, traditions, and organization, and instruction. And swear by the name of the word of Yah in truth to do that.
Now here it states to swear by the name of the word of Yah in truth. And then back in Deuteronomy, it says, do not swear in his name
In vain. So you're swearing to the commitment of the following of the instruction, to the ordering of the organization by this instruction. So you're swearing to give your wealth when this organization that is following this law and doing this process does it, to do it. You're going to follow the instructions. You're going to do what it says do. You're going to walk in its way. Instead, you're out there pledging allegiance to these nations and flags and countries in which you live. Everybody knows the national anthem to the country they live in. In America, it's colorful. You have the one for the nation, then you got the black one. You're not supposed to be pledging allegiance to blackness. You're supposed to pledge your allegiance to the law of the Most High and to follow it. Okay, so let's go. We're going to turn from you. What you read, tell me what the next verse say.
You shall not go after the idols of the Gentiles, the idols of the peoples who are round about you.
Wait, hold on. Read that a little louder. Hold on. Let me see. You go ahead. Speak
Okay.
to the microphone.
You shall not go after the idols of the Gentiles, the idols of the people who are round about you. You think they heard me?
I don't know if they even understood. It's in plain English, but you're not supposed to be like the people who are around you in any way. None of them have this law. None of them have this way. None of them have this instruction. Just because they may have one thing or another, if it's not whole, you're not supposed to be with them. And yet, here you are.
Yep. Mm-mm.
No Islam, yet you are Muslim.
Yes.
No giving to this nation where you're living. You're supposed to be traveling out of there. No paying taxes to this government. You're supposed to be leaving from under it to swear your allegiance here to this governing body, this kingdom under this law. Yet, that is what you're doing everywhere you are. And you want to look at me cross-eyed like I'm crazy. Well, enjoy what is coming.
You know what I just thought about? When our ancestors were in Mitzrayim in the West, they started out as hired workers and then became slaves. Then here we went into America, Britain, whatever. We went as slaves and then became hired servant workers.
Right. It's the reverse.
It just reversed, but
Right.
it's the same
Same thing.
organization.
Right. So let's see what is the consequence if we don't listen to Rabbi Shaky Dome today when we heard this class today. This class 100. Okay? So let's ask ourselves what happens. Go ahead.
Yes. For Yah, our Allah, is a jealous Allah and an avenger, whose Shekinah dwelleth in the midst of you, lest the anger of Yah, your Allah, be kindled against you, and he quickly destroyed you from the face of the earth.
Okay, so the Most High, let me talk to you in your language. The Most High, right? He says there is a piece of his Shekinah dwelling in your heart. This is the part of you that does love the Most High. This is the part of you that wants to serve the Most High. That's just the desire. It dwells among you. It is in your heart. However, if you don't do exactly what I'm saying, because this is his word, this is his instruction, this is appointed for this time. If you don't follow this instruction, right, he will become jealous because you're following people's that he told you not to, and an instruction that he told you not to. Right? You're joining in with other people doing everything else, and you're not doing what he said to do to fulfill his covenant to you. And if you're not going to fulfill the covenant at this time, he's going to be angry. Right? He's going to be angry against you individually on a man-to-man basis, and he's going to hand you a can of smoke. Okay? And he will, is that word quickly?
Yes, quickly.
And it said destroy you from where?
The face
Face.
of the earth.
So you have to be scattered all over the earth to be destroyed from the face of it, which is where we are at this present moment. So you can hear me and take a chance and come out a winner amongst all the peoples of the nations, or you can sit down and try to reason with your broken and fallible reasoning and take a test to see if I'm wrong and if the Most High don't smite you. When is the Most High going to smite you? Oh, it's coming quickly. It's coming faster than you know. We had another train wreck today. It's within 2 weeks of the last 3 train wrecks, and they keep shooting down UFOs. They ain't shooting down UFOs. Everybody's shooting down everybody else's balloons. They satellites. But this goes to show you that we are here filming today on the February 17th on your calendar. That just show you how quickly I'm telling you what I'm talking about. Okay.
It's the all shoddy.
Allah Shadi.
They talk about how much they want to see the Most
You want to
High.
see the destruction? This was coming. I'm telling you it's coming. And I'm telling you that it's coming. And you see it coming. But since you don't believe it, just go on and eat it. That's fine. Now, verse 16. Sons of Israel, my people, be warned not to tempt Yah, your Allah, as you tempted him in 10 temptations. So, there's 10 words and there's 10 temptations. Only 10. You don't even know about the 10 temptations. You're about to hear it today. We're going to unfold it to you. Okay? Read the first one.
17. Keep the commandments of Yah, your Allah, and his testimonies and statutes which he hath commanded you.
First things first. With keeping, the first temptation. Now that you've heard it, you need to pursue it to keep it like you keep your most valuable piece of advice and pursue it vigorously. Everything that I am telling you, because this is his testament, his commandment, the testimonies and statutes, which I am commanding you to do today. And what else?
And do what is good and right before Yah, that it may be well with you, and ye may go in and possess by inheritance the good land which Yah covenanted to your fathers.
So this is so it may be good and well with you, that you may come in. This is step one. So you coming in with using the money to buy the land. This is for the coming in. But later, the possession of the land is divided by inheritance after we have gotten all of it. So there's 2 stages. So the first is gaining a unified national possession. The second is the division of land by lot. So if you listen to what I'm telling you, we're going to take the land in a possession and then inheritance and divide it by lot. Okay? We'll be right back. Yeah, all right. So this is the covenant of our fathers. This is how it's covenanted to us, how we are to obtain it, and what we are to do with it. So from the beginning, buying the land and coming in to live, right? We buy the land with goodly housing and everything which we don't build. We pay them to build it. You don't know how to build here. So you pay for it and come in using the dedicated service of all your wealth, all the money you have in your possession now. So you're saying to me, we don't have no money. Yes, you do. The combined spending power of Black people is trillions of dollars. It is a national budget. You say, what do you mean? The hair industry is $1 billion budget. It is Black people spending.
Yeah.
The music industry, billions of dollar budget. It is Black people spending. The technology industry is billions of dollars in spending. It's Black people. You, Black people walk around, they think about having 2, 4, 5, 6 phones. You You got multiple computers, cameras, everything. Studio equipment, clothes, shoes, fashion. All of this spending is unnecessary when you don't have a nation. So I'm not saying to divert all of that, but if you started to divert some of it, then some of you can come, because only some of you going to make it. And the some that come will be the ones who will see the process and begin to dedicate the service of all their wealth in time, understanding the system. So give it, right? You still need money to travel with, right? You still need to make transitions and have everything in order and sustain where you are. So you're right, you can't allocate all. But you better allocate something if you want to see tomorrow, because the Most High is getting ready to get angry with the whole of the nation now that this has been unfolded to you. So that's the first temptation. Okay, what's next? You read it.
And that he may drive out all the enemies before thee, as Yah hath said.
So the driving out of the enemies before you don't happen till you get here and you start buying up possessions and making your own communities.
Mm-hmm.
You not here, ain't no driving.
Right.
You read the next one.
When thy son in time to come shall ask thee, saying, what are the testimonies, statutes, and judgments which Yah or Allah hath commanded you?
So in the future, your sons and your daughters that you have here, they see the way you live in and they say, why are we living like this? Right? What are these commandments and statutes that you talk about so much? What does it say?
Then you shall say to your sons, we were servants to Pharaoh in Mitzrayim.
So we were servants in the West.
Yep.
So that's the first thing you say. First thing, we used to be slaves. And then what happened?
And the word of Yah brought us out of Mitzrayim with a mighty hand.
So then the instruction, the law of God is what delivered us out with a mighty hand. What? There was one dude, his name was Rabbi Sheikh. Let me tell you, we sent him some money and he bought up all this land. And then we got our passports and we flew through the air with visas. There's a piece of paper and a stamp. Look, here's the old picture of it, or here's one of the old ones. And we came in and there was farms already built. They had buildings built. We had towns. They set up little businesses for us and everything was laid out. It was real nice. It was nicely decorated and everything. I can't even believe it that he did that with that little bit of money. And then I got an apartment, but we didn't have no bills. So all we did was work. And then the money we made from the work in the farms, we bought more. And then more people came. And the whole nation came out. Then we took the whole land back. And then he gave me a whole region to command. I had 30 cities and towns and farms and multiple farms under my name dedicated to me because we gave.
They can't see that picture. You can't see it's a disposition to them right now.
Okay, so what the Most High said you was going to say? What does it say right there?
And the word of Yah wrought signs, great wonders, and sore plagues on Mitzrayim and on Pharaoh and all the men of his house, which our eyes beheld.
So after you say this how you came out, you could say, hey, this all what happened. So there was this war. And Big Bad Putin went up against NATO and Big Joe Biden, and they was shooting bombs and missiles at each other, and they was trying to cover it up and say that they was these UFOs and stuff came from space. And stuff was falling down, trains was crashing, gases got leaked, whole rivers and lakes and ponds and streams, and all the fish started dying, and we slid out by the skin of our teeth. We barely made it. If we didn't send all that money to get that stuff done, we'd have been there when the bombs fell, but we got out right before the bombs fell.
Yes.
What happened? We came out in the Passover. He said it was in the fall, and we got out like right before the fall, the end of the summer, and if we didn't listen and take a chance, we'd have got caught up in that mess. All them people died. What happened after that? Well, for 40 years, we kept building and getting ourselves situated, and we went into the land slowly, and built up, and then that was it. We end up being in the land, and it was all of us, but we were together. And then we had to start expanding out onto the land portions again, because the war had finally settled out. The wrath of the Most High had passed, and there was no more of our people left anywhere in the world. We were all in Jerusalem, or we were dead. And you saw it. See, it says your eyes beheld, says you saw it. And what happened?
But us he led forth free to bring us in and give us the land which he sware to our fathers.
See? But us he led forth free. So I told you a long story, making it sound real dramatic and exciting, because, Black people, we love our dramatic and exciting stories. But this is what you're saying. Us, we gave, and he let us out free because we followed the instructions. Go ahead. What else?
And Yah commanded us to perform all these statutes, that we may fear Yah our Allah for good to us in all days, that he may preserve us alive as at the time of this day.
So your preservation of life comes with following the instructions and continuing to following, because there's going to be a lot of statutes and judgments to roll out at different times and periods as we progress in our development. And you remain alive so that you can see. So if you come, you give, and you obey, you'll be alive well past 40 years to say that, to see it. But in case you want to just roll over and die now, you want a war, go have it. And what else the next?
And the reward of righteousness will be reserved for us in the world to come.
So the reward of righteousness is reserved for us in the world that comes after the war, after the plagues of diseases, after everything has been destroyed and brought down. The world to come, the next one. Because this one is going down in flames. And you see it coming. But you think you're going to survive in America. They think they're going to survive in holes and caves and bunkers and mountains. No, none of that's happening, Captain. No, everybody's got bunkers. Everybody knows how to break into bunkers. Go ahead. You know what? I'm letting them do it. I can't stop them anyway. But I'm watching them to see, this is not a good plan.
Some planning on growing food, building a room onto their house to grow food in there and grow food in trucks and all this.
Try it all.
Don't work.
I'm going to sit here and watch the festivities. The foolishness is going down.
Yes.
So it's reserved in the world to come if we keep all these commandments to perform them before in the land, before the face of Yah our Allah as He commanded us.
So the dedicated service is a command.
It's a command to give the dedicated service of all your wealth for the building of the nation. And then, after you gain back all the land, to divide it by lot. And then there's a cutoff, because after the division of the land by lot, the women will no longer be entitled to a land inheritance to raise up to their father's houses. It'll be closed. So there's benefits to doing it right.
Yes,
So now either you come in or you don't. It don't matter to me. I'm just telling you what the situation of the law is and how it's set. We're going to continue with the 10 temptations because it didn't stop at the end of this chapter. We're going to continue with them tomorrow. One step at a time, one day at a time. Anybody got anything else to say?
Have a great day.
Enjoy, Sheka.
All right.